Hello dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video, which is talking about the Thrustmaster T-flight Rudder Pedals in combination with the Hotas One. Is this the best setup and most immersive setup that you can have for Flight Simulator on the Xbox consoles currently? Well, let's answer that in this video. Okay, so if you were going to buy the Thrustmaster T-flight Rudder Pedals, and by the way, I'll put a link in the description to these so you can go and look at the link to know if you're going to buy these for the Hotas One, you know exactly which ones these are, so you don't buy the wrong rudder pedals. It could happen. Anyway, you buy these, it comes with a kind of, looks like an Ethernet cable, slightly different in its form factor. As you can see, it's got a little tab on top which is slightly different. They will slot in to the front of your Hotas One. And let's try and do this. Might as well. I'm going to push it in firmly. There you go, and you hear it click. Once it's plugged in and your Hotas One is connected to your Xbox, that's the time to start. Let's focus in on that. I will go full screen later so you can see me using these properly. I'm just doing this so you can actually see the products. Then you start Flight Simulator and all should be fine. The T-flight Rudder Pedals come with this connector as well. And I don't know if you can see that. Let's focus in on that. It's got a little aircraft symbol. Come on, camera. And a little car symbol. You can actually use the rudder pedals for racing games as well, but obviously in this case we're flying aircraft, so you put it on the aircraft symbol. I'll show you in a moment. Plugging these directly into the Xbox don't work, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But if you've got them for a PC Flight Simulator, you can plug that little dongle from the rudder pedals in there, and then plug that directly into your PC, and they will work fine with a USB connection. So that's how they come. Let me just show you now. These plugged in directly to the Xbox Series S, and I'll show you the result of that. Okay, so a question that I feel will be asked, and I want to get it out of the way first. I've got my rudder pedals, my Thrustmaster rudder pedals, plugged in directly to the Xbox Series S. You can see that dongle comes with these, and if you're on PC that works fine, but I've got these plugged in. I've got the switch so it's on aeroplane mode as well, so it should work. Nothing's showing up on the screen. I've got the Hotas One plugged in as well. That's showing up. Now, I hope you can see this. I will go full screen later in this video to show you these rudder pedals working. Let me just get to sensitivity there. Typically, as I'll show you later, when these are plugged in to the Hotas One, joystick L axis 2 is where the rudder pedals live when they're plugged into the Hotas One. As you can see, I'm moving. Excuse my groovy socks. I'll talk more about where I got these and why I'm wearing them later in the video. But nothing's showing. I'm going to scroll down to show you all the axes. Nothing's moving. Nothing's working. Just take my word on this. It doesn't work plugged directly into the Xbox. So if you're going to buy these and not the Hotas One, just be warned, they don't work when they're plugged directly in. If you've got other USB rudder pedals, I mean, if you have a pair, you can try it yourself. It doesn't seem to work when directly plugged into the Xbox Series S, and likely the X as well. Okay, so with the rudder pedals plugged directly into the Hotas One, Like I said, don't worry, I will go full screen soon. Let's just go to my sensitivities tab on the Hotas One. And if you look at axis 2, I'm going to use my groovy socks to move my rudder pedals. You can see that axis 2 is now working. Now, there's a bit of a caveat here. Because of the current mapping issues with the Hotas One, if you change sensitivities on the rudder pedals, which I highly advise you do, so it feels comfortable for you, once you restart Flight Simulator, you're going to have to set up the sensitivities just like you have to with the Hotas One itself. So what I'll do, I'll go and do that just before I do jump into full screen, and I'll try and set the camera up so you can see my feet moving the rudder pedals while you're watching the aircraft in full screen. There's a bit of cable management here. You've got a lead going into the Hotas One, you've got the Hotas One connected to your Xbox. You can kind of move the cables to one side, but just be aware, if you're sat on a couch like I am, which is typically how you'd be playing your consoles, there's a bit of a cable management. Also, if you've got a carpeted floor, while you've got your feet on there, these rudder pedals are not moving at all. They do stick firmly to a carpeted floor, which is great. Good to hear. And one last thing, something I didn't mention yet, which is unforgivable from me. Aces Down One actually gave me these. He bought me these and gave them to me. He donated them to me. So I'll link the video that I did of that, and I'll link Ace's channel. He's got a YouTube channel, well worth checking out. Fantastic series he's got going at the moment about starting up a Cessna. He was a real world Cessna pilot. Anyway, go and watch his videos. But he donated these to me, so thank you again, Aces. And now let's go full screen. Okay, so I'm recording this full screen. You can see a side profile of me using the rudder pedals. I found this generally the best way. I've just got some wires caught under my feet there. Generally the best way, because you can see the profile. You can see me moving the rudder pedals up and down like that. If I just use my alter my view there and get off that yoke visibility. When I'm moving the rudder pedals, if you look at the aircraft there, the rudder pedals move. Toe brakes, it's got brakes as well, so basically if you push your feet forward on the rudder pedals, that will brake when you're on the ground. You want to slow down, those are your brakes. I'll be showing you that in flight. Let's get my socks out of the way. I had a day up a few months ago now. And basically these socks are from the hospital bed socks they give you. Because it was a day up, I was sent home the same day. Which makes perfect sense. And I find these are great. Very grippy socks, and they're great for actually using the rudder pedals, or wearing them when I'm using the rudder pedals. So there you go, if you want a pair of these, go and have a day operation. Okay, I'm going to throttle up a little bit. And release the parking brake, and we'll go for a small taxi ride around London City Airport to show you. Now I'm going to brake a little bit immediately because I was already wasn't going too fast, but I thought I was going to almost. Anyway, that's a good demonstration of the toe brakes there on the rudder pedals. Let's just set my throttle on my Hotas One, and like I said, we'll just go for a little ride around the airport. Now I'm not going to talk about too much about the sensitivity settings because I'm waiting until the mapping issues are sorted out with the Hotas One. Then I can nail down, fine tune the sensitivities. Basically I've just set pretty much everything on -50, so for the rudder pedals -50 in the plus and minus sensitivity axis. It's a personal thing, sensitivity, so put them to where it feels best for you, the sensitivity settings. Anyway, as you can see, whilst let's slow down a little bit, whilst riding around the airport here, taxiing around the airport to be more precise, the rudder pedals feel great. And already it adds a level of immersion that wasn't there previous when you're just using the twist action on your Hotas One. Now it feels more and more like I'm in a real aircraft, even though I'm playing Flight Simulator on an Xbox console. Quite an experience. Okay, I'm lined back up on the runway. So there you go. Let's just do another little bit of a taxi, just so you get the idea and you can see the mechanics of me using these rudder pedals. As you can see, they work fine. I'm using a little bit of brake when I feel I'm overspeeding. There you go. Let's do a tight turn here. I don't think there's differential braking in the default Cessnas, although it does seem when I'm using my left, so when I'm taxiing left and putting a bit of left toe braking, it does seem to swing me around that little bit quicker. So maybe there is, who knows. Where am I going? Let's get back on the runway if I can. Should be able to. Let me slide myself back up. And what we'll do, we'll just do a rolling start. Oops, wasn't the best. A rolling start, and let's get up in the air to show you these in the air. So I'll go full throttle. Maneuver myself with my rudder pedals. Slight adjustments just to get back on the centre line. That will do roughly. We're already at takeoff speed. Let's take off. And I'll show you how these can help when you're in the air. The rudder pedals can help you while you're in the air as well, when you're banking and turning. So we're up in the air, nicely configured. I'll do a left bank, left turn. Feed a little bit of rudder in there to do a balanced turn there. And if you've not used rudder when you're turning, it does generally, I mean, it's what pilots would do in things like the Cessna aircraft, but you'll find that you will be turning and banking that little bit quicker when you're feeding a little bit of rudder in there too. So if you want to turn a little bit quicker than you normally do, feed in a little bit of rudder. And when using the rudder pedals, yeah, it just feels immersive. It's going to irk a lot of people, this, because I'm leaving this to the last minute again in my videos. But come on, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? There's not many setups for the Xbox consoles with Flight Simulator at the moment. Using the Hotas One with the T-flight Rudder Pedals is currently the best setup you can have, especially when flying aircraft like the Cessna here. Just feels fantastic. The best setup currently available. So there you go. I won't draw out this video for much longer, but I'll do a right turn with a little bit of right rudder. Oh, let's control that a little bit better. There you go. Anyway, you can see it's working fine. Centre the rudder, centre the aircraft, left turn. Not the best demonstration, but it gives you an idea, and it definitely feels very, very immersive. It does take it to the next level. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'll do a quick shameless plug for my channel membership. I've just started that recently. Check below this video, you'll see a join button. If you click on the join button, you won't join. It will just show you a video explaining more about my channel membership. Low price, $1.99 a month. You get extra content, extra videos, and you get a cool badge next to your name in comments. Doesn't everybody want that? I won't go on too much about that, because that's not what my channel's about. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Many more Flight Simulator videos on the way. And I'll see you soon.